Beyond Roanoke Entertainment presents a YouTube and podcast production. All right, so welcome back on today's episode. We're at Uncle D's here in Roanoke, Virginia. We're also with the anonymous one, Tyler. Not sure why I gave you a nickname, but there you are. So, without further ado, let's welcome in Uncle D. I think right there would be perfect.
Hey guys, how you doing?
How you doing?
Good seeing you. Good
Nice to
seeing
see you
Josh.
again.
Thanks for being here.
Great, thanks for having me in my own restaurant.
That's right.
Yes, on location.
On location.
And that gives it brand new meaning.
That's right.
So, I think what we'll start off with is your background in the restaurant industry, rather,
Great.
and then kind of transition to what made you want to open your restaurant.
Great. I started in the restaurant industry back in high school and college, back in just Salem, Massachusetts, where I'm from. And then I have been in the kitchen in 35 years. I was in the golf industry for 35 years, retired, and retirement didn't stick, so I knew I wanted to do something else, and this was always a passion of mine. So we opened up Uncle D's Takeout. So we've been here for about 7 months now, and doing great.
It's hard to believe it's been that long.
Absolutely, it seems like it's been 4 years.
So I remember when you guys were in here trying to, I think you were renovating the place.
Yes.
Paper on the windows kind of thing. So that it definitely was kind of intriguing to see what was going to be here.
Yeah, that was a little. I wanted to kind of give a sneak preview, and on the outside of the window we just had, there were handwritten notes, chicken and dumplings and meatloaf, and people would, when we would come here to work, they go, when are you open? It was really cool. And then once we got close, we got our infrastructure in here ready. Then we took the white paper down, and it's been gangbusters since then.
So opening during, all the COVID stuff and all that, I mean, worries with that, or?
It's the name of the restaurant is Uncle D's Takeout, which, and I'll get to in a minute why I think that was a mistake. But it had nothing to do with COVID, and everyone thought it did. They thought it was me. What a novel approach. I didn't know to go in. But it was always, I never wanted to get into having waiters and waitresses and having a bar, and I love beer as much as the next guy. I just didn't want to get into that business. But as I've found out now, that the name has come back to almost like haunt me a little bit, because people assume it's just takeout. As you can see, we've got 5 tables, and like today for lunch they were all full, but still people still have the impression that it's just a takeout restaurant.
Right.
So.
But I mean, it's, definitely go check out the menu. It's very diverse in what you guys offer.
Yes.
It's not something that you can get at any other. Would you classify it as like fast casual, maybe?
I like that, because it is fast. It's some of the impetus for doing some of these things, where I came from the Boston area, and when I moved down here, I thought that when I was a young kid growing up, I thought people in the South, they ate chicken and dumplings and meatloaf and things like that, and I came to town and there was no one really doing it. So I saw a void in the marketplace, and so then we have our Italian stuff. We've got our the country comforts, which are the chicken and dumplings, the pot roast, the meatloaf. Then we've got a really nice salad line. Our chef salad and our Greek salads are very popular. We wanted something novel, so instead of just doing a sub, I researched, what are they called? Back then there's grinders, and so we settled on hoagies, and so we have a hoagie line. We've just added a Wagyu beef cheeseburger line, and we have a few specials. Like today, we're doing this on a Thursday. We had our roast turkey Thursday. You guys have roast turkey dinners when we're finished. Okay. And yeah, so and we're always looking at different things. Where I do know that we're going to be expanding our offerings. We're going to be introducing something called Uncle D's Marketplace, which is going to be I think I'm getting them next week. I'm going to buy a freezer and a refrigerator for right back here, and then a little bit of a dry. So you'll be able to order our meatballs frozen in a 12-pack, or a meal of lasagna, and also a full tray of lasagna, things like that.
Oh, wow.
And then on the dry, we're going to have, we're going to sell our marinara sauce, which is really good. My general manager, Casey, he's amazing, and he has his fingerprints across my entire menu. It started off as my recipes. Now they're mine that he has kind of perfected. He's a genius with that. So we'll come with some of his specialties. Casey's pimento cheese. He makes a killer tomato jam. We're going to be calling it a zesty tomato jam that we put on our meatloaf, so things like that.
Wow.
So,
I know our first experience, my wife and Jennifer and I came up. It wasn't too long after you guys opened, I think.
yeah.
And we got a bunch of stuff, and it was all amazing. And then we came up, and I'd never had a meatloaf on a as a sandwich, or on a hoagie, and I got that. I've had that twice.
Did you? Because the original one was, and it's a throwback to there's a chain of restaurants in the Boston area that's called D'Angelo's, and they have and I forget what they call it. It's a Thanksgiving sub, but it's basically it's roast turkey, and then stuffing, mashed potatoes, almost like a cranberry vinaigrette. Almost like a mayo, cranberry mayo, and it sells great. So I wanted to bring this. So the original sub was, we call it the New Jersey Diner, because and people are always asking, why is it called New Jersey Diner? Well, New Jersey's the land of the killer diners. If you've ever been up there, they've got great diners. So that's where we went. But it's meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and gravy on a sub roll. Not for everyone. You really, it's kind of a carb explosion.
Yeah.
But then Casey has created another one, which is so we have two meat. I don't know which one you have. With the roasted garlic aioli and the tomato jam.
That's the one
That's the one, yes, with the melted cheese and the grilled onions. So that's.
I tried talking him into that, and he wasn't having any.
Yeah. If there was ever a Roanoke, every restaurant could put one sandwich into it, but like a chili cook-off, but a sandwich cook-off. That would probably be my entry. Either that or my pot roast sub, but probably that one you had.
Yeah. And then just the other day, yesterday actually, 4 or 5 of us came up here and got the burgers, which were out of this world.
Really?
Yeah.
And he had never been here before.
Yeah, that was my first introduction to.
Perfect.
I don't get out much.
Well, it's just real considering you eat.
Yeah, well, that's even worse. I know. And I'm a little late to the party in most instances. So.
Well, out of the bunch, I was the only one that had ever been here. Mm-hmm. So.
And it's I could get not too as I do one. We're going with an ultra premium Wagyu beef, which is it's a Japanese breed of cattle that is bred with American Black Angus. It's very lean. It's got a tremendous beef flavor to it. It's rich marbling, and it's I could get one considerably less money, but we want to keep the premium quality up here.
And I don't think the price was awful at all.
No.
Yeah.
Because you go anywhere and you get a premium burger at Red Robin or wherever the case may be, and they're $10-15. Yeah. So I think it's in line.
We're $12.99 with a side, and when our sides is just not a basket of fries. If you wanted, like one of you guys tonight has onion rings, you could get the sweet potato touch, you could get mac and cheese, whatever our normal sides are, you guys can get. So.
I'm not on the other end of the line this time. I'm
Boy, where you look away.
So, what did you think? As far as, because you had not only the burger, but did you get?
I got
you
the
got
fries. Yeah. You got to start with the baseline,
Yes.
and fries are absolutely amazing as well.
What's your favorite French fry?
And you've been everywhere, haven't you?
I love fries too.
I mean, I'm definitely say this one's definitely up there. But probably, the best that I can think of right now is a place in Raleigh called Bad Daddy's
Right.
Burger, and this is definitely
Right.
neck and neck.
I like McDonald's fries.
Ain't nothing wrong with McDonald's fries.
I also like a big, thick steak.
Yes, I
steak
think those
fry.
are better than.
I've tried to bring, and my staff vetoed it. Says no way. So.
Oh, yours are.
As you can tell, my staff has a control over me. I wash more dishes than any owner in the history of the restaurant industry.
Well, I know yesterday was my first time trying the onion rings, so I had to get them again.
Yeah.
And
They're
they
good.
were, oh my gosh.
They're really good.
Now, as far as like what goes into when you go to add a new item, do you do like a sort of like a soft open where you do like a limited time run, or do you just try it with the employees, or?
Example with the burgers. Burgers happened accidentally. We had. I'm a huge fan of U.S. Foods. We had a little when we first opened. We had a couple of major hiccups, but U.S. Foods stood behind me the entire way. And there was one time where I was sitting in here and that table back there, and there's 5 U.S. Foods people there. It's my sales rep, his boss, her boss, the general manager, the chef, and one of the a person who handles the outside business. And for 2 hours they came here and says they were just, why don't we try it this way? Why don't we? Because we were at a crossroads of what we want to do, and they were so helpful. And so I am indebted to them. And there's another local rep, and he lives right over here. He's a really nice guy. Works for a competitor, and it's sorry, buddy, I just can't do it. I'm tired with that. But anyway, so they were in here one day, and out of the blue, he says, well, one of those people there said, "What about the Wagyu beef?" And I didn't know what Wagyu beef was, and he gave us a sample. We went back there and cooked it, and the entire staff was like, "Oh my God!" And so we instantly brought that to market. But some of the other stuff, like my staff, my general manager Casey, and I've already mentioned him. He'll put his fingerprint on everything, and he'll get, okay, we got to do this. We're going to do this, and he's very with his hands, and he's kind of dead on accurate. So that seems to be kind of one of the ways that we're bringing it, to testing things out.
Nice. A little more dead silence.
Like I said, I'm the silent partner.
What made you choose this location over other parts of Roanoke?
I looked all over Roanoke, and there were a few places that had existing kitchens. But if I was going to do this, I was not. You guys, we're on the main drag here. I wasn't going to go in an obscure location or in an area where it wasn't my clientele. My demographic is it's the mother, father, and the 2.4 kids, and the dog and the cat, and the grandmother. That's my demographic, because it's people who want a hearty food, what I want, and you would mention the portions, a good deal at a fair price, and that's kind of what we wanted. So, but I was, I live right around the corner here, and I just, why not come here? And this was not a restaurant before when I came here, so I literally had to build a restaurant in here, which was a very expensive proposition. But I was able to do it kind of the way that I wanted to do it and be here. And I think that decision is really starting to pay off, because we're getting better every day. We're on the verge of we had a very busy night tonight, and so I want it to be definitely the old location. We're right here, And we're still struggling to this day, and my daughter Ashley handles all my social media. We're still struggling with, oh, I didn't even know you guys were here. Well, we've been here for 7 months, and we've got sign up there, sign up here, and we're on social media. And maybe this podcast will take
But anybody comes in, of course, Tyler and I work right up the way here. Anybody who comes in and says, you know, I'm going to drop my car off, where can I go? This is the first place I tell them to come.
Right.
Because one, it's within walking distance of where we are. And two, it's hands down better than anything within miles of this place.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That really means a lot to me. It really, really does. That's why I did it. Yeah, I retired from the golf industry, and I was set where I could play golf every day and do nothing. But that life didn't work. I tried it for a year and it didn't work. I think people have to do something. So it's compliments like that really, really hit home for me.
And for me, when people ask me what you guys offer, only way I can describe it is it's down home cooking.
I love that.
Because to me, that reminds me of what my mother used to make. You know, you go home and then you have all these homemade meals. I mean, I tried poking and prodding him for months to come over here, and then we finally got him to come over yesterday. I think the main reason is he wanted to have something good, but at the same time, we didn't want to come in here and him never ever be here.
That makes sense.
So, of course, now, you know, granted, you close every day.
That's another reason I hadn't.
But Monday and Friday.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I'll be back. There's
Dynamite.
too many other things I got to try on here.
Yeah, and I love that whole thing you said about the down home cooking and because we have those. It's like the commercial you see on TV. You know, don't tell my mother that this is better than what she makes. We hear those things, and that's really cool.
Yeah, I told him the other day. I said, "It's Mac your mama good."
I love it.
But I try to send as much foot traffic this way as I can.
Yeah, I know you do. We really appreciate it. And it's things like that. That's how we're going to grow to where we want to be, and we're very close to that. It's, I don't want to say word of mouth, but it's kind of word of mouth. It's referrals from people who've been there. Like Tyler's going to tell someone about, hey, go get the burger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
okay?
And it's the only way to grow.
You and your wife would you've been here quite a few times, and I know you, especially your wife, would come in here and tell us we sent these people or we told these people, and that it's. I noticed we're like tonight. We're just sitting back there cleaning up tonight, and I said, man, we're starting to see a lot more people that we've never seen. We have a great group of people who were supporting us right when we started, so they're longtime customers. But we're just starting to see people just coming in that we've never seen. And one thing that my staff is really good at, if we see someone by the window, we run and we'll grab a menu and say, and give them, hey, come on in, and what's not on the menu, a few things that are coming. We always talk about our Thursday night special, which is our roast turkey dinner, $12.99 roast turkey and dressing. Can't say stuffing because it's dressing, cranberry sauce. You pick 2 sides, and then our garlic bread. What do you think of our garlic bread?
Oh, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, it is.
Every time we get it, Jennifer doesn't get any of it. Actually, you got to see some of it yesterday. Because she got the salad and it came with the salad, but she didn't want the bread. Well,
I don't know if she wanted it. Yeah, I think you took it, if I remember correctly.
She came to pick it up, and I was opening it up. I went, yeah, that's definitely not for you.
Potato.
Well, yeah. But one day you're going to have to try it.
Absolutely.
I mean, everything we've had has just been ridiculously good.
Right. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Mr. Silent over here. Start calling you Mr.
But he looks good when he's doing it,
That's true. I'm jealous of the mustache.
Oh, my
I can't
God.
grow one.
Gets in the way.
That's a bushy mustache.
Yeah, it took years to finally come in.
How many years?
I mean, probably it was in my 20s before it really started coming out. So.
When was the last time you shaved? You mind me asking?
No, you're fine. What's today? Thursday? A year and a half ago?
Really?
Yeah.
What's today? Thursday? Yeah.
Yeah. About a year and a half ago.
1991.
But the other thing too is, and I know it doesn't matter because I'm bald too on top, but I'm jealous that you have no gray and I have almost all.
I picked the gray out.
So, but
Figure don't grow up on top.
just for men.
That's just. Oh.
So, ask some questions, brother.
You either ask him or he answers them.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
we're in trouble.
The name.
That was going to be one of them, yeah. So
name.
where does the name come from?
The name. I'm from Salem, Massachusetts. I'm the youngest of 8. My mother had 8
wow.
children, and so I believe the number is she had 26 or 27 grandkids, and they're a
Wow.
festive group of people, and I'm the youngest of the 8, so I'm kind of maybe closer to them. So it was at a family wedding or a family party up from across the room. I hear, "Hey, Uncle D!" And then they all join in, so it kind of stuck. So I became Uncle D up there. And when I opened this, I just was thinking of a name, and I wanted something that would stand out that wasn't like, the Riverside Grill or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. That had some muscle to it or some, meat to the bone. And no pun intended. So we came up with Uncle D.
It makes it almost sound like when you tell people, "Hey, we went to Uncle D's last night for dinner," you go, "I didn't know you had an Uncle D." But it sounds more relatable too.
Exactly.
It's more of a relatable thing.
And that was an accidental thing. That was not, that just it's the way it. That the results. It was just I named it for just something kind of different. But
It's for me, it works. I mean, it's just a relatable thing for me. It's almost like family, sort of.
it's really bizarre, and every time this is every time I answer the phone, Uncle Lee's how can I help? I chuckle to myself, Uncle Lee, and I'm Uncle Lee. It's kind of weird, but it's kind of a I don't know, kind of a bizarre way. But I need to grow a beard, man. That's what I need to do.
Like everyone should.
Yeah, that was your advice to me. 'Cause I didn't have one for the longest time, and now this is what I got after about 6 months. And I hadn't quite been that long, but
You have a mustache,
very little. It's there,
folks. It's there.
but
We'll zoom in later.
yeah, let's not. As far as the stuff that you guys offer, and you mentioned that you guys just launched the burger, and that you're going to be having a new line coming out. I had somebody ask me the other day if you guys had a second location. Do you think that's something that will be down the pipeline later?
We are. When you lie in bed at night, that's what I dream about. And I think there's a very viable way to get there. And I want to backtrack just a little bit. One thing I have found here, and it's probably the most successful thing we do, is the small-time business catering, doctor's office. We find I think there's like 3 or 4 banks that we serve on a regular basis, and we always seem to be doing their board of directors meetings. Like I did one on Tuesday night. They got 15 people in local bank, probably my most, right up the street here. They're probably my most loyal in terms of number of times. They're constantly going, "Hey, can you do this, can you do this?" And so that small time catering is such an untapped market in this market. No one's really doing it. I think a lot of people will go to a Panera or Pizza or Chick-fil-A. out of habit. It's easy, and that's the growth vehicle for Uncle D's, absolutely. So, what I'm in the back of my mind, when I talk about dreaming, I would love to open up buy a building off the beaten path, empty building, and just build a killer kitchen, and then have this location, and then get one over in Salem, which is nearby town, and one in Benton over here. And out of that, I'm just throwing the word out, commissary. That would we would supply the food for all those locations. The important stuff, the marinara sauce and the meatballs, the mashed potatoes and the mac and cheese. They'll do that at a local level. So we'd feed from that location, but it would also be a hub for our corporate catering business. And the reason, the thing I'm most proud of about the catering is, I think it's every company that we have served, and we're probably served 25 to 40 different companies. Every one of them has reopened. So to me, that's the litmus test. So, but that would need, that's a big financial thing. Right. So it's either that, the dream, or take this location right here and just kill it, and just do that business out of here and be the best we can be here. This would probably be, in terms of profitability standpoint, this location right here would probably be the best to maximize our profitability. But I kind of like the idea of the multiple locations Jonathan talked about.
Yeah, and then of course, the kid, like you were saying, the catering thing. I know when we were going to meetings, they would order pizza, Chick-fil-A. Every once in a while, you get somebody that ordered Moe's, but it's usual stuff you can go right down the road to get, and it's, don't you want something different?
And we're going to deliver it. And it started. I'm not going to choose one of my catering customers over another, although I'm going to do one of them. We started with Cave Spring Baptist Church down here, and a really good friend of mine, Danny and Wendy Gilbert, kind of introduced us. And so we, for the past 3 months, every Wednesday night, we cater 60 to 80 people. This week was, what did we do this week? We did spaghetti and meatballs, salad, our garlic bread. Next week will be, we're doing chicken and dumplings, country style green beans, mashed potatoes, yeast rolls. So they go every week, and that's been a godsend, because we're getting the business from them, but we're getting all the people there. And Wendy Gilbert, who kind of hooked us all up there, sent me a text on Sunday night that the preacher at Cave Spring Baptist mentioned Uncle D's in his sermon. It was something along the lines of, God is going to be there to get, I'm probably screwing this up, God is going to be there to give you superb quality and great, things, and pray, it was really cool. Really cool. I got that in the afterlife. I have that.
There you go.
So,
Looking at me.
I'm going to keep looking at you, buddy. See, I've about run out of things, unfortunately. As far as, we talked about the growth, are there any plans in the future to have, like small sponsorships, as far as, if you go to a Salem High School baseball game, I know they come in to see us, and you're either in their
yes.
What do they call it? Playbook, I guess?
Yearbook.
Yeah. And, of course, word of mouth is everything. But going into social media, I know you're on Instagram, and I think you're on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
Are you? Okay.
My daughter, right over here, Ashley is just she's a star on that, and every time she'll go over a script, I'll say to her, like a classic example, we've had our sign above Uncle D's, but 2 or 3 weeks ago our sign just hit the marquee in terms of Southwest Plaza. Okay? So I said, hey Ash, maybe we want to take a picture of that, and she ran with that, and she created this post that just from a different angle, so you could see that the food line. Oh yeah, you're in the food line plaza, and then there are a couple other places down here. So yeah, she's been great on that, and the social media is wide open. Kind of what it's popped into my head. You talk about things I would love. I would love to open a location closer to Salem. And I know this doesn't make any sense, but I would love to be, when you're driving down the road and they have those next exit Salem, and they list the food there.
Yeah.
And I want to have Uncle D's and the food thing, McDonald's and Wendy's and Uncle D's.
But that
I don't know
makes
why
sense
that
though,
is.
because when you're driving down the interstate, if you're going on a trip, when you start to get hungry, you start to see those signs and you go, what'll be good that I haven't had before? I know you do this.
Oh yeah, you got to on road trips.
Absolutely. Yeah. And another thing, and this has more of a chance of happening. Salem Red Sox, and I'm from Boston Red Sox. So their Division 1AA team is in Salem Red Sox, and it's arguably it's the prettiest. Have you guys been to the Salem Stadium?
I have not.
It's been a while, but
it's
yeah.
the prettiest view sitting in that stadium. The Blue Ridge Mountains over here, and a beautiful stadium. And the outfield wall has all these, hey, John Smith Insurance Company. I want to get that. I want to get something there. So,
And
yeah,
then
Red
even-
Sox, I'm coming.
And then even if you don't have anything out there at that point, then you've got the marketing for people going to the games, because I know people come from all around, not just Salem, to go to those games
Oh, absolutely,
too.
absolutely.
So you gotta have something.
Not usually.
Not usually. Okay, what's on tires? I mean, I'm gonna throw it back at you.
There you go. What? It stopped, didn't it? Oh, it did.
When did it stop?
That's right. It was 30 minutes. It
Mhm.
said. I wonder when it stopped.
Could've been too long.
Well, it was good.
We're still working some of this stuff out.
Yeah.
You guys are great. You guys are great.
Yeah.
You guys are a good team.